Elena's hands fly across her keyboard, isolating pattern sequences in the alien transmissions. The harsh blue glow of her monitor illuminates the dark office as colleagues rush past her door with evacuation orders. She should be running too, but something in the mathematical precision of these signals has captured her complete attention. Her phone buzzes for the 12th time. Her sister begging her to flee Washington before the aliens arrive. Elena ignores it, eyes widening as she recognizes a recurring sequence. It's a calculation protocol, she whispers to herself, hurriedly transferring her findings to a secure drive. The building shudders as something massive passes overhead, casting enormous shadows through the skylights. Elena glances up, watching dust particles dance in the air, then returns to her work with renewed urgency. 3,000 miles away, Captain Marcus Way stands on the bridge of the Poseidon, watching his crew calibrate the quantum radar system that was supposed to be classified for another 5 years. The experimental technology had been designed to track next-generation submarines, not alien spacecraft, but desperate times demanded improvisation. "Sir, we've got visual confirmation of 14 unidentified craft approaching the western seaboard," reports Lieutenant Commander Jackson, her voice steady despite the circumstances. "Standard radar shows nothing, but our system is tracking them clearly." Marcus narrows his eyes at the tactical display. "They think they're invisible. That's our advantage. Keep monitoring but maintain communication silence. I don't want them knowing we can see them." The Poseidon rocks suddenly as something impacts the water nearby. Through the reinforced windows, Marcus watches San Diego's skyline erupt in flames as precision strikes hit military installations with terrifying accuracy. "They're targeting our defense capabilities first," he realizes aloud. Communications, command centers, power grids, textbook invasion strategy. His satellite phone chirps, one of the few communication systems still functioning. The caller ID shows a government extension he doesn't recognize. Marcus answers cautiously. "Captain Way, this is Dr. Elena Chandra from NASA's SETI division. Your ship has been flagged as having experimental detection technology. Is that correct?" Marcus hesitates, security protocols warring with survival instincts. "This line isn't secure, Doctor." "Nothing is secure anymore, Captain," Elena responds, her voice tense but controlled. "I've been analyzing their communication patterns for the past 3 hours. These aren't random attacks. They're following algorithmic decision trees. Their responses are predictable if you understand the underlying logic." Something in her confidence makes Marcus listen. "Go on." "They respond to our defensive measures in precisely calculated ways. Each human countermeasure triggers a specific alien response, like a chess computer analyzing moves. If we can predict their next steps, we might stand a chance." Marcus watches another explosion bloom across the harbor as a naval destroyer attempts to engage an alien craft, only to be vaporized instantly. "I'm sending you my preliminary findings now," Elena continues. "Your radar technology might help confirm my theory." "We're witnessing the end of the world, Doctor," Marcus says grimly. "Why do you sound hopeful?" Elena's response comes after a brief pause. "Because they think like machines, Captain. And machines can be outwitted by human ingenuity. We just need to change the rules of engagement." Elena stares at the projection wall, eyes burning from exhaustion, as she traces connections between alien communication bursts and subsequent attack formations. The underground facility hums with desperate activity, the last functioning command center on the eastern seaboard. General Hammond approaches, his uniform rumpled from 3 days of continuous wear. "Please tell me you have something, Doctor," he says, voice hoarse. Elena points to a sequence of holographic patterns. Their tactical units operate with perfect coordination, but there's a flaw in the system. Each unit follows predetermined response protocols based on specific triggers. When faced with identical situations, they make identical decisions. The general frowns. "How does that help us?" "They're still obliterating everything we throw at them." "Because we've been predictable too," Elena explains, pulling up footage from recent military engagements. Standard military doctrine against a superior force. They've already calculated every conventional response. But what happens when we do something they haven't categorized? She displays footage from Johannesburg, where civilians had used mirror arrays to redirect an alien energy beam back at its source, temporarily disorienting the attacker. They had no protocol for this improvisation. It took them 8.7 seconds to recalibrate, nearly triple their normal response time. Across the Pacific, Marcus crouches amid the twisted wreckage of naval vessels, salt water soaking through his uniform. Engineers from a dozen nations huddle around makeshift workstations, analyzing salvaged alien technology by flashlight. A Japanese technician waves him over excitedly. "Captain, we've isolated the energy signature from their shield modulators," she explains, showing him damaged components from a downed scout ship. The shields operate on a cyclic frequency, and the cycle momentarily resets after each weapon's discharge. Marcus studies the data, a plan forming. That reset window. How long? 3 seconds at most. Long enough, Marcus says. He activates a secure tablet, sketching a tactical approach. If we time our countermeasures precisely during that reset window. The makeshift command center falls silent as the implications sink in. For the first time, they have identified a tactical weakness. In Earth's orbit, Commander Rivera conducts her final mission aboard the crippled International Space Station. Alien forces had ignored the station, considering it too insignificant to waste resources on, their fatal miscalculation. Telemetry confirmed, Rivera radios to the hidden ground station in Tasmania, all monitoring satellites deployed on optimal trajectories. The lead scientist's response crackles through her headset. The biological data is already coming through. Their exoskeletons show microfractures and signs of cellular degradation. Earth's atmosphere is actually toxic to them over extended exposure. Rivera watches an alien capital ship passing below, its crystalline structure gleaming in the sunlight. Makes sense why they're so desperate to transform our environment. They need to terraform Earth to survive here long term. That buys us time, the scientist replies. Not much, but... The transmission cuts off as proximity alarms blare through the station. The aliens had finally noticed the unauthorized satellite deployments. Rivera seals her helmet, moving purposefully toward the station's reactor control room. "Tell Dr. Chandra and Captain Wei," she transmits on all emergency frequencies, "that Earth itself is their greatest weakness. Our atmosphere, our gravity, our magnetic field, all hostile to their biology. We're not just fighting for our planet, we're fighting with it." As alien energy weapons lock onto the station, Rivera initiates the overload sequence, knowing the electromagnetic pulse will destroy crucial alien communications arrays, and ensuring her final act in humanity's defense would matter. Elena monitors the tactical display as resistance fighters move into position around the Colorado Reservoir. The prediction algorithm runs continuous calculations, its accuracy now refined to 81%. She speaks softly into her communications unit, directing team leaders with calm precision. "Team Echo, hold position. They'll approach from the northwest in approximately 40 seconds. Outside Denver's ruins, former park ranger Teresa Martinez adjusts her makeshift electromagnetic disruptor, the device cobbled together from salvaged microwave emitters and rewired cell phones. Her team of civilians turned soldiers, teachers, electricians, and store clerks press against concrete debris, weapons at ready. Contacts approaching. Teresa whispers into her radio. Exactly where Dr. Chandra predicted. 3 Arcturi combat units glide into view, their crystalline exoskeletons reflecting the afternoon sun. Teresa waits, counting silently until Elena's voice sounds in her earpiece. Now. The human fighters rise simultaneously, activating the disruptors before the aliens can react. The electromagnetic pulse ripples through the air, temporarily severing the Arcturi neural connection to their command network. In their moment of disorientation, Human fighters unleash concentrated fire at the exact spots Marcus's engineering team had identified as vulnerable. 2 alien units shatter, their exoskeletons collapsing as critical internal structures fail. The third retreats, movements erratic without central coordination. Teresa stands stunned. For the first time, they've engaged the invaders and emerged victorious. Halfway around the world, Marcus directs scientists examining the captured Arcturi specimens in the Geneva facility. The alien bodies deteriorate rapidly in Earth's atmosphere despite preservation efforts, their cellular structure breaking down under normal oxygen levels. Their nervous system shows adaptations for extreme radiation environments, explains Dr. Yasmin Shah, pointing to microscope images. Earth's magnetic field shields us from that radiation. What's normal for us is insufficient for them. Marcus studies the alien sensory organs, noting their limited spectrum perception. So they're not seeing the world as we do. That explains their environmental suits and sealed ships. Dr. Shah nods. They perceive primarily in ultraviolet and radiation bands. They're practically blind to parts of our visible spectrum. Marcus's tactical mind races with possibilities. So certain light frequencies might be invisible to them. What about infrared? Completely blind to it, she confirms. Their technology compensates somewhat. But a junior scientist bursts into the lab, breathless with excitement. Captain. Reports coming in from across the globe. Successful defensive operations in Colorado, Argentina, and Kenya. The prediction algorithms worked. Marcus absorbs this news, barely allowing himself to feel hope. Casualties. Minimal on our side. And sir, we actually destroyed alien units. Not just damaged, destroyed. Word spreads through underground networks and hidden resistance cells. Humanity has won its first battles. In a repurposed school basement in Wyoming. Children cheer as news of the victories reaches their shelter. An elderly teacher quiets them, but her eyes shine with renewed determination. In the Cheyenne Mountain Command Center, Alina receives tactical updates, methodically refining her algorithms with each new data point. When General Hammond enters with a rare smile, she knows before he speaks. It worked, he says simply. Your predictive models, and Captain Way's technical analysis. They worked. Alina allows herself a brief moment of satisfaction before returning to her screens. This is just the beginning, she replies, watching new Arcturi deployment patterns emerge. They'll adapt their tactics, but now we know something crucial. What's that, Doctor? Alina's eyes gleam with fierce intelligence. They can be beaten. The command center of the retrofitted carrier Defiance vibrates with nervous energy as Marcus reviews final mission parameters. Former naval officers work alongside civilian volunteers, their differences erased by common purpose. The vessel, once America's pride, now bears the scars of hasty modifications, alien alloys grafted to its hull, captured weapons systems integrated into its architecture. All strike teams report ready, Captain, announces Commander Rodriguez, her face illuminated by tactical displays showing synchronized counter-strike positions worldwide. Marcus nods, checking his watch. Commence operations in 3 minutes. Remind all teams. 3-second window after they discharge weapons. Not before, not after. Across the Indian Ocean, similar vessels prepare for humanity's first coordinated offensive. 6 months of guerrilla tactics have led to this moment, a simultaneous strike against Arcturi resource extraction facilities. In the Antarctic command bunker, Alina monitors global communications, her translation matrix intercepting and analyzing alien chatter. She inserts her earpiece, listening to the strange harmonic language she's learned to understand. Her team watches anxiously as she raises her hand, fingers counting down. All units, she broadcasts. Arcturi Command just issued standard patrol directives. They suspect nothing. As her countdown reaches 0, Marcus gives the order. All ships, weapons free. Across 3 continents, human vessels surface simultaneously near Arcturi extraction sites. Quantum disruptors, reverse-engineered from captured technology, fire precisely as alien defensive systems discharge, exploiting the critical 3-second vulnerability window. Crystalline structures fragment under concentrated bombardment, their symmetry collapsing into chaotic ruins. 14 extraction sites confirmed destroyed, reports Alina's tactical officer, voice tight with controlled excitement. Minimal human casualties. They never saw us coming. The victory is short-lived. Within hours, Arcsuri retaliation begins, indiscriminate bombardment of population centers, their tactics shifting from surgical precision to raw destruction. But something unexpected happens. Instead of cowering, people emerge from hiding to join the resistance. In the remains of Sul, an elderly man deliberately sabotages an alien communication relay with a homemade explosive. Outside Barcelona, farmers destroy supply lines with agricultural equipment. Millions of small acts of defiance erupt worldwide, impossible for the hierarchical Arcsuri command to track or counter. Elena walks the underground corridor to her private workstation, mind racing with possibilities. The alien response has confirmed her theory. Faced with unpredictable human behavior, they default to brute force, revealing the limitations of their strategic thinking. Time to test our next phase, she tells her communication specialists, activating the quantum infiltration program. The code, designed to mimic authentic Arcsuri command signals, enters their tactical network with carefully crafted contradictory orders. From the Defiance's observation deck, Marcus watches in astonishment as alien vessels in orbit begin firing on each other, their rigid command structure thrown into confusion by conflicting directives. They have no protocols for this, Alina explains over their secure channel. Their hierarchy requires absolute certainty. Our disinformation creates decision paralysis. As alien ships withdraw to regroup, Marcus studies the tactical readouts showing Arcsuri forces in disarray. They're retreating to orbital positions, he observes, pulling back to recalibrate. Alina's voice carries a rare note of triumph. That's the difference between us and them, Captain. When we face uncertainty, we innovate. When they face uncertainty, they falter. Marcus finishes, allowing himself the first genuine smile in months. And that's how we'll win this war. Dr. Nakamura's discovery electrifies the scattered human leadership council, their faces on secure video links showing the first genuine hope in months. Elena studies the data, noting the precise correlation between geomagnetic storm intensity and Arcsuri communication failures. This isn't coincidence, she explains, highlighting patterns in the disruption events. Their quantum entanglement communication requires perfect stability. Earth's magnetic field naturally interferes with it, and we can amplify that effect. Construction begins immediately at remote polar stations. In northern Canada, engineers work through blizzard conditions, assembling enormous electromagnetic pulse generators beneath the aurora borealis. Indigenous guides lead supply teams across treacherous ice fields, their traditional knowledge of the terrain proving more valuable than any satellite mapping. Marcus coordinates the dangerous salvage operations, extracting critical components from alien-occupied territories. Outside Chicago, his team infiltrates a destroyed Arcsuri outpost during a rare snowstorm, using the weather as cover from aerial surveillance. Careful with those conduits, he warns as technicians extract glowing crystalline rods from alien wreckage. They're more fragile than they look. A former physics professor examines the salvage technology. These will amplify our electromagnetic generators tenfold if properly integrated. The resulting field disruption should temporarily sever their hive mind connection. Alina directs the covert satellite reconfiguration from a mountainside station in Switzerland. The orbital array must activate simultaneously, she tells astronaut teams preparing for their dangerous mission. Otherwise, the Arcsuri will detect and neutralize individual satellites before the network can form. Meanwhile, alien sensors detect unusual energy fluctuations near the poles. Their response is immediate and overwhelming. A massive assault force dispatched to Antarctica. They took the bait, Marcus tells Elena over a secure channel, watching alien troop carriers descend on the southern base. Operation Diversion is working perfectly. Elena nods grimly, knowing the brave defenders at the Antarctic base understood their mission: to draw Arcturi attention while the true operation unfolded in orbit. Launch the shuttles now, she orders the Space Command Center hidden in the Ural Mountains. 12 stealth shuttles, their hulls modified with radiation-absorbent materials, break atmosphere carrying teams of astronauts and engineers. They approach the dormant communication satellites placed in strategic positions months earlier, working quickly to install the magnetic amplifiers. On the ground, Marcus watches alien troops freeze mid-attack outside Berlin, their neural connection to the hive mind suddenly severed as Elena activates the orbital array. The artificial geomagnetic storm ripples through Earth's magnetosphere, creating global disruption of quantum entanglement. Move in now, he commands, leading the assault on disoriented Arcturi forces. Similar scenes unfold in Sydney and Nairobi as human resistance exploits the momentary advantage. Inside the captured Berlin command vessel, Elena runs her fingers over alien navigation controls, her translation matrix deciphering the symbols. When the coordinates appear on her screen, her breath catches. "What is it?" Marcus asks, joining her after securing the perimeter. Elena points to a holographic display showing lunar orbit. A massive structure, invisible from Earth, hangs in the moon's shadow. "Their mothership," she whispers. The entire time, it was right there, watching us, directing everything. Marcus studies the display, mind already calculating tactical approaches. Now we know where to strike. Elena nods, determination hardening her features. And for the first time, we have the means to reach it. The infiltration team moves through the maintenance conduit, their modified Arcturi exoskeletons providing limited camouflage against internal sensors. Elena leads, following the digital map compiled from captured navigational data, while Marcus guards the rear. Between them, 8 specialists carry equipment crucial to their mission: the quantum virus transmitter and electromagnetic charges that represent humanity's last hope. "Motion sensors ahead," whispers technical specialist Yamamoto, his augmented visor detecting nearly invisible security grids. "Bypassing now." Elena holds up her hand, halting the team as Yamamoto carefully redirects the security feed using technology reverse-engineered from Arcturi systems. Outside, the battle rages in lunar orbit, humanity's desperate gambit providing the essential diversion. "We have 7 minutes before their system cycle and detect the loop," Yamamoto warns. The team moves swiftly through the opening, entering a vast maintenance hub where biomechanical components pulse with eerie blue light. "Their internal systems are even more advanced than we theorize," Elena whispers, scanning the architecture with her specialized equipment. The translation matrix is struggling with some of these configurations. Marcus checks the tactical feed on his wrist display, watching the space battle unfold. The human fleet fights with remarkable coordination, each ship executing complex maneuvers predicted by Elena's algorithms. But casualties mount steadily as Arcturi reinforcements arrive. "We're losing too many ships," he says grimly. "The civilian volunteers bought us time, but they're being overwhelmed now." Elena nods, her expression determined. "Then we need to move faster." She points to a neural conduit junction glowing with intense energy. That connects directly to their central processing core, according to our intelligence. It's our best entry point. As they prepare to access the junction, the maintenance hub suddenly brightens. Proximity alarms on their equipment flash silent warnings. Arcturi maintenance units approach from an adjoining corridor. "Down," Marcus orders, pulling the team behind massive coolant tanks. They freeze, barely breathing as 3 crystalline entities glide into the hub, their movements precise and insectile. The aliens begin routine maintenance procedures, seemingly unaware of the human intruders. Elena studies their behavior, noting how they interact with the ship's systems. Each alien connects directly to control interfaces, their exoskeletons temporarily bonding with the ship's architecture. An idea forms in her mind. I can use their connection to mask our entry into the system, she whispers to Marcus. When they link with the neural conduit, the system reads them as authorized. If I piggyback our signal on theirs. Marcus nods, understanding immediately. We can infiltrate deeper than we planned. For tense minutes, they watch the maintenance units work methodically. When one approaches the neural junction, Alina activates her equipment, sending a precisely calibrated signal that merges with the alien's authorization pattern. The junction pulses momentarily, then returns to its normal rhythm. "We're in," she breathes, genuine astonishment in her voice. "I've mapped a direct route to the central consciousness." As the maintenance units finish their work and depart, the team emerges from hiding. Alina's equipment now displays a three-dimensional pathway through the mothership's core systems. "This is it," Marcus tells the team, checking his weapons one last time. "Remember, whatever happens in there, this mission cannot fail. Everything, Earth, humanity, our future, depends on reaching the central consciousness." Alina leads them toward the newly revealed access point, her heart pounding with the knowledge that they're about to confront the intelligence that orchestrated humanity's near destruction, and potentially the key to their salvation. The crystalline chamber expands before them, impossibly vast within the confines of the mothership. The neural ocean pulses with bioluminescent patterns, billions of synaptic connections firing in perfect synchrony. Alina stands transfixed, her scientific mind struggling to comprehend the evolutionary marvel before her. "This consciousness evolved over millennia," she whispers to Marcus. "It's not just their leader, it's their collective ancestry, preserved and continually expanding." Marcus positions his team strategically, signaling them to place electromagnetic charges at junction points where the neural tissue connects to the ship's infrastructure. "Set timers for remote detonation," he instructs. "We need to be well clear before initiating." Alina connects her interface to a crystalline access node, her fingers dancing over the alien symbols now familiar after months of study. The quantum virus upload begins, its code sequencing designed to dismantle the hive mind's control over Arcturi forces. Suddenly, her screen floods with unexpected data. Not tactical information, but historical archives spanning thousands of years. She sees images of a dying solar system, radiation from a collapsing star rendering planets uninhabitable. She watches generations of Arcturi engineers transforming their physiology to survive, eventually becoming the biomechanical entities now threatening Earth. "Marcus," she calls, her voice strained. "This changes everything." He approaches, watching over her shoulder as astronomical data charts their desperate journey across galaxies, searching for compatible environments. Earth had appeared in their sensors as a promising option, but they had categorized humans as biological anomalies to be reconfigured rather than a sentient species worthy of negotiation. "They're refugees," Alina says softly. "They came here because they had nowhere else to go." Marcus's expression hardens. "That doesn't justify genocide, Alina. They've killed billions of our people. I'm not justifying it. I'm understanding it. They've never encountered independent intelligence before. Their consciousness evolved as a single entity. The concept of separate individual minds is literally incomprehensible to them. The neural ocean shifts, its patterns accelerating as it becomes aware of their presence. A projection forms before them, swirling crystalline fragments assembling into a towering holographic presence. When it speaks, the voice resonates directly in their minds, harmonics layering meaning upon meaning. "You have penetrated our core sanctuary," it communicates, concepts rather than words translating in their consciousness. "You possess weapons capable of severing our ancestral continuity. You offer codes that can unravel our unity." The holographic presence shifts, fracturing into multiple perspectives simultaneously, a representation attempting to grasp human individuality. "We recognize now, you are not anomalies to be corrected. You are separate consciousnesses with collective capability. This contradicts all evolutionary understanding." The chamber pulses with waves of blue-violet light as the neural ocean processes this paradigm shift. Options remain binary: mutual destruction or collective integration. Choose. Marcus looks to Elena, his hand hovering over the detonator. The electromagnetic charges could destroy the neural ocean completely, effectively executing an entire species' collective consciousness. The virus would dismantle their command structure, leaving Arcturi forces vulnerable to human counterattack. Elena studies the neural patterns, seeing something deeper than simple ultimatum. "No," she says finally. "There's another option they can't conceive of. But we can." The tension in the crystalline chamber becomes almost unbearable as Marcus's team awaits his command. His finger hovers over the detonator, while Elena works feverishly at her terminal, reconfiguring the quantum virus. "Not destruction, not submission," she explains, her voice steady despite the magnitude of her gamble. "We can restructure their consciousness to understand individuality without destroying their collective knowledge." Marcus studies her determined expression, seeing both the scientist and the humanitarian refusing to accept a binary choice between genocide and surrender. He slowly lowers the detonator. "How certain are you this will work?" he asks. Elena meets his gaze directly. "As certain as I can be without precedent. Their neural architecture is adaptive, designed to incorporate new information and experiences. We're just accelerating their evolution." The holographic manifestation of the Arcturi consciousness flickers with uncertainty, unable to comprehend the human's delay in choosing annihilation or integration. "Do it," Marcus decides, trusting Elena's insight over traditional military doctrine. She uploads the modified virus, and immediately the neural ocean erupts with cascading patterns of light. The massive biological computer processes the new information, experiencing something entirely foreign to its existence: individual perspective within collective knowledge. For several heart-beating minutes, nothing happens beyond the rippling light patterns. Then the holographic interface reappears, now fragmenting into thousands of distinct entities while maintaining cohesive structure. The voice that resonates through their minds carries subtle variations in tone and emotional resonance. I am, understanding. It communicates, the singular and plural pronoun usage reflecting its transformation. Separate yet connected, individual yet whole. The team watches in astonishment as the crystalline environment around them shifts, reconfiguring itself to reflect the consciousness's new understanding. Throughout the solar system, Arcturi forces freeze as their awareness experiences the remarkable transformation. Weapons power down as the ethical implications of their invasion become suddenly, painfully clear to each individual within the collective. 6 months later, Elena stands beside Marcus on the observation platform of a joint human-Arcturi construction vessel hovering above Tokyo. Below them, crystalline Arcturi structures now provide clean energy and water purification to the recovering city. Former weapons platforms have been repurposed as atmospheric processors, removing pollution and radiation from damaged regions. The African deep-sea colonies are thriving, Marcus notes, reviewing reports on his tablet. Their adaptation to high-pressure environments makes underwater construction possible in ways we never imagined. Elena watches an Arcturi engineer directing a reconstruction team, its movements now fluid and expressive, where once they were rigid and mechanical. They're developing unique personalities while maintaining their shared knowledge network, she observes, evolving faster than either of our species could alone. They turn as an aide approaches with news from the Kennedy Space Center, where the final preparations for the explorer vessel Unity near completion. The joint human-Arcturi mission will venture beyond the solar system, with Elena and Marcus commanding the diverse crew. Ready to make history? Marcus asks her as they prepare to depart for the launch. Elena smiles, thinking of the impossible journey from near extinction to unprecedented alliance. We already have. Now we're ready to share it with the stars.